Joining me today, I have Sophia Short with PMC Mortgage. Sophia is a rising star among local lenders, and I can't wait for her to tell you what she does.
I am Sophia, and I'm a local mortgage broker originally from Buffalo, New York. And like so many people who end up living in the Low Country area, I spent my entire life vacationing on Hilton Head with my parents, who had gotten married here in Palmetto Dunes in 1993. And ever since then, we've been coming to the island to vacation. And once the pandemic hit in 2020, I was a college senior and I didn't know what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. And I came to Hilton Head as just a temporary situation in a very uncertain time, and I have never left.
So I love hearing about how you got here and just hearing people's stories in general, because many people are not actually born in Hilton Head and Bluffton who live here. Shocker. But everybody has kind of a unique story, and a lot of times it's that family connection that's so sweet that your parents were married here. I actually have a connection. My family came on family vacation, and I met my husband in college on family vacation in Hilton Head. So that's how I ended up here as well. Tell us about what you do at PMC Mortgage and a little bit about the company.
PMC Mortgage is one of the few mortgage brokerages here in the Low Country, and my favorite part about them is that we are family owned and operated. So our business has been around for a little over 30 years, and I was going around and interviewing different mortgage brokerages. That really stood out to me as an important feature. Being so tight-knit and having that family feel to it was really the biggest thing that I looked for.
Yes, I love that. And tell me, how does your underwriting work, that being that you're a mortgage broker?
It's our job to go out and shop different interest rates, different fees, different products for our clients, and because we're brokering the product, we have access to a handful of different lenders to actually go out and find the best option for our clients. All of our processing takes place right in-house, right here in Bluffton.
So it sounds like not only are you able to offer your clients value, but also a very streamlined process in that you're processing in-house and giving them the best rate that you can find available in the market. So I think we should switch to interest rates now, because that is a very popular topic in the mortgage industry and real estate industry, is what is happening with mortgage rates. And me personally, I've seen that buyers have sort of gone through the 5 stages of grief when it comes to interest rates. There was the first, this denial that this interest rates were climbing, and then, some anger and some bargaining and then some depression. But I think we're getting full circle back to acceptance that the interest rates are not going to be 3 or 4%. They're probably going to be more like 6 or 7% for a while. But I wanted to hear about your predictions, kind of what you see playing out. And obviously I know you have no crystal ball, and we are not holding Sophia to any of this.
I appreciate not holding my feet to the fire on this. But one thing that I like to tell our clients is in 2019 and 2020, the average lifespan of a 30-year mortgage, which is the most common mortgage term, was only 11 months, and it cost lenders a lot more money to originate the loan than they were actually making back on that loan. And as a result of that, the Fed had to respond, and they had to raise interest rates. And at the end of the day, the Fed isn't going to go ahead and drop interest rates just because people still need to buy homes. The Fed needs to keep interest rates at a healthy enough level where people aren't immediately going out and refinancing out of their 7% interest rates that they're getting right now, because actually 96.5% of people who have mortgages currently have an interest rate that is 6% or lower, and that only leaves 3.5% of the market having an interest rate in the 6+s right now. And we really just need to continue to encourage home ownership regardless of where the market conditions stand, in order to actually see that long-term eventual rate decline that people are really hoping for. But even when that does happen, I don't foresee it ever going back to those historic lows for a while at least.
So that the cost of money is not 2 or 3%.
Right.
Nobody wants to make a 2 or 3% return on their money.
Exactly. So you got your start in real estate kind of in the middle or the start of the recession. How has your experience working in those type of market conditions, seeing them obviously improve over time, and then having a 2020 situation happen where interest rates dropped and you had a super duper competitive market, how has that served you in your career and allowed you to help out your clients?
In terms of being in all these different markets, there's different skills that you learn in those markets. When the housing bubble was at its peak, nothing was selling, prices were crazy, and there were different skills and different ways you handled negotiations during that time. The bubble burst, people were underwater on their homes, and then helping people navigate like a short sale negotiation. And then seeing COVID, I don't think anybody was prepared for what was going to happen. And I mean, I was nervous when the pandemic started. I was thinking to myself, this could be another bumpy ride. I better hold on. That unexpected consequence of having people buy second homes, vacation rental properties, really realizing that they could work from anywhere, and now all of a sudden they want to be in paradise working versus somewhere else. So it was really, it's been interesting. You had to learn different skills for every market.
Our area specifically is a paradise. We vacation here our whole lives, and now we probably call it home. Other people had the chance to vacation here because of the pandemic, and people are really flocking to our area. Tell me a little bit more about what the market looks like right now as a result of people continually wanting to live here, own primary residences, own secondary and investment properties. What does that look like for you?
Yeah, so demand is insane. Supply is very difficult. So we have a lot of buyers for this area who are looking and haven't found the right home. There's a lot of people renting right now, and maybe they had a home here and then they saw the prices go up. They sold that house because they said, my house value is doubled, and they thought they were seeing another pricing bubble. So they were trying to get ahead of that, sold that house, went into a rental, and now they're trying to get back in the market. And that is a very stressful scenario for a lot of people, a very real scenario for a lot of people. Getting in this market is a lot different now than it was, a few years back, where prices were lower, interest rates, weren't where they are now, and the affordability was higher. So yeah, in terms of the effect of the pandemic and what we've seen after that, it's just a lot of demand for low country real estate, and it's great, and we are very blessed, and at the same time it presents some challenges. So Sophia entered the market as a mortgage lender in a really challenging time. Sophia, what has helped you create your niche, and how have you kept motivated during all of this time?
For me personally, I've always had an interest in real estate, in personal finance, and figuring out ways to actually grow your own personal net worth. I was always the type of person where I really couldn't justify ever paying rent, and I wanted to find a position where I could put myself in a place where I could educate other people as well. I bought my first home when I was 23 after I'd been working in the industry for about a year at that point. And I've really found my niche in helping other first-time home buyers, helping other people in their 20s actually go out, purchase real estate, provide education for people who you don't get a knowledge on buying real estate when you're going to college. Like you spend all this money to go and get a 4-year degree, but truly you leave and you don't know how you're going to manage your own personal finances or what it actually takes to buy a home. A common myth that I always hear is you need 20% down to buy a home, when that's absolutely not the case at all. The average of a first-time home buyer putting down money is about 7%. So there are just small little nuances just to the home buying process that I feel very grateful that I get to share with people every single day. And my biggest thing is just providing education for people, holding their hand, working with a client as long as they need me to help make them feel secure and comfortable in the home buying process.
I love what you said there about home ownership and having a passion for it, and kind of realizing, very early on in your 20s that that's an important step in order for most people to build their wealth.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
I definitely feel lucky that my parents instilled that value of building that own personal financial security as well. Like I knew I couldn't rely on them for the rest of my life, and so it was about going out and figuring out ways to build up my own personal net worth, ways to save myself money every month, ways to build my own income every single month, and just having that autonomy every single day, which is why I chose the mortgage broker field, because you kind of have that say over what your income is going to look like the harder you work. Like in theory, hopefully the more money you make eventually over time. So,
Yes.
and kind of going back to the piece earlier about getting into the market at such a challenging time too, it's definitely a grind every single day, just going to work and not always seeing the immediate gratification of your work. But I ran Division I track and cross country, and I spent most of my career being injured, which was just a path I never saw for myself when I was actually getting into college, but it has really served me now in my professional career. Having those experiences of what I would have called at the time failures, but really it's taught me grit, it's taught me patience, it's taught me humility, and I ended up finishing my career at the healthiest I was, which was a win for me. So it really taught me to take the wins when I could get them, and also just really to be patient and to never stop putting in the work, even if you're not seeing those immediate results, because over time, every single day, step by step, brick by brick, you're going to build something that you're proud of over time.